Good afternoon, everyone. We are group number 1. 50% of India is going to live in cities by the year 2050. This would mean more demand from our agricultural system. Urban farming talks about the efficient use of land while maximizing produce. They have advantages such as close proximity to markets, providing fresh food as well as reducing transportation costs. Traditional farming would employ more lands to increase more produce. They still have a benefit of being the largest supplier of food produce as a whole. We talk about benefits of urban farming over conventional methods, mainly because of technology in the field of farming. Why not urban farming with traditional farming? We intend to bridge the gap between the two by introducing policies. We want to merge the benefits of the two systems, enabling them to live in symbiosis, where the rural system handles production of grains and the urban system manages freshly grown veggies in a mix of best of both worlds. Improving communities through farming. Urban agriculture is one approach to improve access to healthy food. Strategies include the following. Farmers' markets focuses on providing fresh, local produce and creating a direct connection between the people who grow food and those who eat it. There is a practical limit to the distance the food travels before reaching the consumers. Farmers' markets provide healthy, fresh, affordable produce for low-income shoppers. Economic health of a community. Urban farms are typically able to create a considerable number of jobs. They focus on helping individuals find jobs and providing basic job skills. They remove the middleman or vendor, reducing costs significantly. Revitalizing communities. The physical environment in which people live, work, and play greatly impacts their health. Neighborhoods with safe and clean outdoor spaces have a positive impact on residents' health. Many urban farm projects incorporate community gathering spaces in their plant site and typically offer open spaces for educational workshops, gardening trainings for the community. Community gardens often link different sectors of the city like youth with elders. India has no set policies with regards to urban farming. We need to change this in order to allow for a sustained growth in this field supported by government at all levels. These are a few challenges faced by the urban farmers. Policy changes are required in order to support urban farming, especially for the low-income group. Local governments can identify vacant plots and make this information publicly available, allowing contracts with private landowners. Governments can financially support startup and operating costs. Governments can also develop new workforce. Cities can adopt urban agriculture-friendly language in their zoning codes and general plans, which will encourage them to invest in infrastructure. Localities can provide trash collection, composting, and access to water, tools, and storage to help reduce urban farmers' expenses. Since farming needs a lot of water, one way the cost can be offset is by finding alternatives for water resources. Resource management. Land and soil are limited. Rapid urbanization will further increase competition between different kinds of land use. Irrigation can be a challenge if infrastructure is not in place, if the water source is limited, or if the water is metered, which adds on extra cost. Skilled workforce is needed for urban agriculture. It also needs a larger upfront investment for setting up. Community food system focuses on closed loop system. It starts with the core functions of a food system that are growing, harvesting, processing, packaging, transporting, marketing, consuming, and disposal. The members of community who would be actively involved in this system. food produced and or raised on an urban farm is sold and distributed through community supported agriculture, farmers markets, grocery stores, restaurants, and farm gate sales. Urban farming techniques. Soilless farming. Soil mixture used is a compost from organic waste blended with a mixture of different types of porous stones. These stones are lighter than the typical rocks, hence minimize the weight on roofs. The porosity of stones does not allow the water to accumulate during heavy downfall. Portable farming system is composed of coconut fibers that are highly durable. Water is supplied to the crops using the drip irrigation systems. It has an excellent capacity of holding moisture, is lighter in weight, and has the ability to retain nutrients. Soilless growing mediums such as hydrotron and perlite is an artificial system of cultivation that does not use soil. They weigh less and hence are easy for transplanting and harvesting. These are light in weight and are incredibly porous. They retain the required amount of water and allows the rest to drain away. Pit farming. In pit farming, this can be done on ground as well as on rooftop. These containers can be stacked in layers which accommodate in lesser space. In this, pit water drain membrane is provided so water can be recycled and reused. Hydroponics. This technique helps in decreasing the water usage normally required for agriculture. In case of traditional farming, 1 kg tomato requires 400 liters of water, whereas hydroponics require only 70 liters of water. The water that is used can be recycled. Pesticides and fertilizers are not used in the system. Vertical farming. In vertical farming, high yield can be obtained from lesser space. Crops are planted in trays. Water drips out from pots, is collected and reused. This technique uses less water and is less exposed to chemicals. These are skyscrapers with vegetable climbings. Trays of vegetables are stacked inside an aluminium frame and are rotated by a belt which allows the plant in receiving equal amount of light, good airflow and irrigation. Aquaponics. The technique of aquaponics uses the collected rainwater for farming. In this technique, the water is circulated through the plant containers and is collected at a fishing tank. The nutrient-rich water is then directed to the water storage tank. Vertical aquaponic. Particularly in this process, the harvest is used by the local community and the vegetable scrap obtained is again fed to the fishes. Hence, the water and the scrap generated is reused for the cultivation of crops. So after all our research and understanding, we shortlisted some areas where we could propose the advanced techniques of urban farming. The first site is of the residential quarter area of Akashvani Kendra Nashik. There is an ample of open area where waste is dumped by the locals. During the rains, the area is covered with the unwanted grass, having stagnant water ponds, which causes the problem of mosquitoes that results in growing health issues. The area grows locally and consumes locally, wherein the packaging and transportation is avoided due to the presence of vegetable shops. Using the few basic techniques of vertical farming like hydroponic, aquaponic and pit farming, we can introduce people to the new techniques of urban farming. The second proposed site is that of a school where the deaf students learn new things, and with that, we wish to introduce vertical farming that could help in growing their own organic food. Also, the use of recycled grey water will be a part of learning and applying in day-to-day life for them. Also, the use of solar panels would take care of the energy consumed in the process of vertical farming. So the last and the third site is of the Central Jail Nashik. The inmates are already taught various skills as a part of their vocational training. Farming can be extended as a vocation and skill development for the inmates, which can help them in the future. This will help other similar projects where there is no reserved land for farming and could be implemented in any other city. The area in this site that is left for the future development can be practiced for portable farming, and the other area which are centrally available, such as the area between the two wings of the cells, can also be used. I would like to summarize by saying that the urban agricultural policies are set up to enable the substantial practice of farming. Appropriate techniques used are site specific, and places that help communities to set up urban farms are identified without hampering their open spaces. So that brings us to the end of the presentation, and we would like to leave you with the idea of grow local, eat local, and be local. Thank you.